Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Lydia Marie. Today I'm bringing you a quick review of my thoughts on the new Huda Beauty Peach Pie Loose and Bake Setting Powder. I picked this up from Sephora just the other day, and I was kind of curious about the powder. I'd heard good things, especially about the cherry blossom and the butter. I think it's pound cake or butter cake or something like that. And I wanted to try the butter cake because it has a yellow texture, but then I saw this one in the store, and then I found out this peach pie powder has been having all the girls in a tizzy, so I definitely wanted to pick it up. I got the small size, the travel size, which retails for $22. But if you want to see my thoughts on how this setting powder wears, I don't get too excited over setting powder. I have to tell you, I have a setting powder that I actually like, but I was curious about this one, so I picked it up. So if you want to see my thoughts and review on the new Huda Beauty Peach Pie Loose Setting Powder, I hope that you would keep watching. If you're new here, my name is Lydia Marie. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Let's go ahead and get into this review of the new Huda Beauty powder. So today, like I said, we're going to do a little dive into the Huda Beauty Peach Pie Bake and Set Powder. And I believe that's the correct name. Yes, it's Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder, and I got the shade Peach Pie, which is a medium to tan with warm undertones, which is exactly what I am. I did get the mini size. The mini size runs for $22, and I believe the full size is $38. And this is said to be a lightly pigmented, silky setting powder that bakes and sets, blurs the look of fine lines, and locks in makeup for up to 10 hours for an airbrush finish. As I said, I've never tried a Huda Beauty powder. I've always heard good things, but I had so many setting powders already that I was just like not chomping at the bit to try one. But I wanted to try this one mainly because when I went into Sephora, I was able to kind of feel the texture of it, and it didn't feel like any other powder that I actually had. So I got the mini size. I'm going to put on a brightening concealer and under my under eyes. As you can see, I have my color correction on. I do already have on my foundation, which is my MAC Serum Radiance Foundation. I don't have anything else under my under eye, so I'm going to go ahead and put my concealer on, and then we're going to dip right into this powder and see how it actually applies under my skin with some fine lines, dryness under my under eye, and specifically right here where my makeup tends to crease the most. So let's get into it. So I took my Tower 28 concealer underneath my eyes for the brightness, and I took my full coverage Bobbi Brown concealer on the outer corners right here, and we're just going to blend that all together for the concealer. And I'm going to blend those in with this brush from Real Techniques, and then we'll go ahead and dive into this powder. So the packaging on this mini size is really cute. You just twist this out, and it already comes with a little muff that's in the inside, and it has the standard packaging or the filters for the powder to come out. So I'm just going to dip a little bit out on my hand like so. I'm going to use about that much. On my right eye, I'm going to use my regular sponge that I normally use to get up in the corner. On my left eye, I'm going to blend some in and around where I set my concealer with a fluffy brush. So let's go ahead and start with the brush side. And this is how much I'm going to use. I need a mirror. Where's my mirror? This is how much I'm going to use. So let's just go ahead. Let me see if I can zoom you in without. Oh God, I spilled what I had on there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to use that on the brush and just kind of pat that in. I like the way it gives the brightness. It's very natural looking, and I think that has a lot to do with the actual shade, where it's not too transparent or like too white, but it's very much a nice yellow shade. And I'm just patting that in where I set my concealer. I'm just gonna use this. A lot of times with setting powders on my skin, ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, that is very nice. Normally it can look a little dried out, but look how close I am. And it just looks like it's a nice faux finish. I know that's right. Let's do the other eye. Okay, we have the right eye, and I have this on my puff for the neck this is the left eye, and I have this on my puff for the right eye. OMG, can I talk? This is what it's going to look like with the, oh, and it still goes on really nice. I just like to get up in the corners where my concealer tends to settle. And just pressing that in. It's not picking up my concealer, which is a good thing. It's just pressing in the powder. Look how nice and bright that looks. This side definitely looks more bright with the sponge, but this side just looks like I woke up like this. Okay. I like that a lot though. And even with the brightness, it's not so bright that it would be like, you know. So I'm going to put a little bit of the powder and set my makeup here, because I can see that MAC concealer, that MAC foundation kind of settling fairly quickly. So I'm just going to put with the fluffier brush, and I'm going to put that powder everywhere I had concealer and see how that wears. I like that I can put this everywhere and it doesn't take away from the makeup or change the color, because this shade of the peach is perfect for my skin tone. The warm undertones are really giving this powder the natural look that I would do with a pressed powder. Wowza. I like how that looks. I really do. You know what? I'm going to give my face a quick spritz with some setting spray, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face, and we'll come back and take a look. Alright, I have finished the rest of my face. I added some blush, a little bit of bronzer, just using my Milani All-Inclusive Face Palette. I used everything in here from the eyeshadow down to the bronzer and the blush, just to have it all one and done. Then I put on some Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick, along with a little lip liner and some gloss, and that's really it. But the focus is this, and I have to say that after spraying my face down with my setting powder, that it just felt like the powder just kind of melted in. Let me move some stuff so I can get y'all nice and close. Let's just check it out and see how we're looking. I think that looks really, really good. With the concealer, it just looks like a nice, bright finish. And it feels nice and light. Normally when I put on powder, like loose setting powder, it's the first thing to kind of settle into my lines. But so far, and it just looks like a nice, normal, like a nice, like she said, an airbrush finish, basically. And as someone with, you know, a mature under eye, especially with a dry under eye, I'm very careful on how I apply my powders and how much, because that's when the creasing and the settling, and then it comes across like you just have on so much makeup. So I think that this is really wearing well. I can say, especially after spraying it down, I just like the way the color looks, just nice and natural, not too bright, which is how I personally like it. I don't like my under eye super bright, mainly because I'm like having on my glasses and I'm touching my eyes and things like that. So I'm really liking how this powder is looking. As a tip, when you're wearing something like a loose powder under your eyes, your application can mean a lot of things. Like for me, I like to use the sponge sometimes, just depending on how much coverage. As you can see with this eye, when I used the sponge, it gave it a lot more coverage and brightness. It was a little bit more because the product is holding and pressing into the sponge, whereas you're using a fluffy brush, it's a little bit lighter application, and you can just kind of go under your eye with a light touch. A lot of times products will claim to like not show fine lines. If you have fine lines, you have fine lines. Sorry to break it to you, unless you get some fillers or something to take care of those fine lines, you just have fine lines. What they mean when they say it's not creasing or won't show your fine lines is that the product won't cake down into your fine lines, thereby highlighting them more. You know what I'm saying? So if you have fine lines, you just do, but you want to look for a product that's not going to settle into them, thereby making them more, you know, present to, you know, more, I lost my thought because somebody was at my door, but more, you know, prevalent is the word that I'm looking for. So I think this powder looks really amazing. So that is all for my review of the new Huda Beauty Peach Pie Setting Powder. I don't even know if this is like brand new, but I know she has quite a few. Like, I went into the store looking for the pound cake one that is actually yellow, but I'm glad I got this peach pie one because it's a lot more complimentary to my actual skin tone. I'm really loving how it feels. I'm loving how it looks. I look like I'm just finished and not that I have on a full cake face, and it feels really light. The texture on this is actually quite silky, and I'm just really impressed with this. I'm glad I got the small size to try because, you know, I like it, but I can see myself going through this size pretty quickly. So I want to get the actual pressed powder that she has in the peach pie now that I know how the loose one looks. I really like the way that pressed powder feels too. It's something about these powders that are quite silky, but yes, I'm giving this one 2 thumbs up. I'm glad this is the beauty product that I can actually use every single day, even on my no makeup days. Let me know if you guys have ever tried this Huda Beauty powder or if you're interested in doing so. Of course, I will have all links down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here very soon. Bye.